In this video, I'm going to be talking about how to be successful on Twitch in 2024. I'll be putting the foundations down on what you need to start to have a successful channel and what you can do to really make your content stand out from the crowd. There's many videos like this across every platform. There's loads of YouTube videos about this, TikTok tips, tricks, everything. The reason why I'm making a video for is because it's all about perspective. Everybody's different. What works for you may not work for somebody else. What worked for me may not work for you. I'll start off with the basics and the foundations that you need to get the best start in being successful. The first tip is to create a brand. It may sound silly to think so big from the start, but you really need to think ahead. You don't want to be making changes to your usernames and stuff later on once you've already built a community, because changing it may confuse them. So you want to make a username that's unique to you, that you can use across all platforms. You can use it on your PlayStation, your Xbox, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, Kick, whatever it is. You want to be able to have an account on every social media with your username, and use Fiverr to commission someone. I think I only paid about £20 and I got the logo that I use now on everything, and I've had it since 2015. It's unique to me. It's not something anybody else has got. It doesn't have to be anything crazy unique. If it's got your username in it and something, suits you, that's good enough. You can always change your logo later on down the line, but it's always good to have something to start with. Once you find a niche or something that really makes you unique, that takes time to discover, then you can start to adapt your overlays, your logo. You can make it your own at that point. Point 2 would be to aim for quality. Having a nice clear webcam, a nice clear microphone will set you aside from the majority of people that are streaming. Many stream for the sake of just going live. They're playing on their console, they've got a live button, they'll just press it. They'll be streaming to maybe 0, 1, 2, 3 people. But when you go live and you want to stand out by having a clear microphone, a clear webcam, it really puts you above the people that are just doing it for the sake of it. If you put the effort in, people will notice. You don't have to have a webcam. Lots of people don't. There's a lot of successful streamers that don't have a webcam. But if you really want to grow quickly, you do need to have one to stand out. If you look at this list of people, which one really stands out to you? To me personally, as a streamer, if I was to look for someone to raid or send my community over to or go check out, the first person that sticks out to me is one with a camera, and one that's a clear camera too. You don't have to be the best looking person on Twitch. All you have to do is just be you and be confident. People are there because they want entertainment, they want to just chill out. I personally love watching streamers that have cameras, because even when there's silence, there's still expressions going on. If there was no camera, you wouldn't be able to see those facial expressions. It wouldn't be as personal. Some people do enjoy watching without, but the majority of people do prefer webcams. Point 3 would be to use sites like Etsy and find some overlays. There are free ones out there, but they are very generic. Lots of people have the same ones. It doesn't really matter as long as if it's clear, it's not pixelated, it's really good quality. There is tons of overlays on Etsy. Mine's from Etsy. Most of the people I know is from sites like Etsy. All that really matters is that you haven't just copied and pasted some PNG from Google to be your camera box and it's all pixelated and horrible, because it just doesn't look like you've put any effort into it. If there's lots of pixelated images all over the screen, chances are I'm not going to stay there. So yeah, make sure you've got some overlays ready for when you go live. Point number 4 is your title. You only have a set amount of characters. I'm going to find out how many characters. It's probably the most boring part of the edit. Point 4 is your title. It's really important that you create a title that people are going to look at and go, yep, I want to watch that. If you've just got some basic "come play with me," it's probably no different from the person that's going to be to the left and to the right of your thumbnail. You have between 25 and 35 characters that will be visible on the screen without needing to hover over it. Most people don't hover to see the rest of it unless it's really catching. So if you're going live with a generic title, it's not going to be as attractive to people browsing. Whatever it is that you're doing, you could add that in. You could create fun questions. There's loads of different ideas on how to create a title that could hook people in. Try not to just straight up copy, make things unique to you, but just make it so people want to know more. Whatever you put in your title is going to be something that makes people want to go, I want to click on that, I want to have a look. I've done ones in the past where I've asked a silly question like Burger King or McDonald's. People come in, discuss their preferences, and it just keeps the chat flowing. It's just fun, it's just wacky, it's weird. Sometimes it doesn't get any chat, sometimes it does get chat. It just depends. You can just pick and choose. Puns tend to do quite well, but again, just find what works for you. Try not to just have it as generic, like, oh, playing Destiny, oh, playing Five Nights at Freddy's. Have it interesting. Number 5 is to always look after your mental health. Streaming and content creating can really affect you without even realising. It's so easy to get stuck into a rut of, I'm not good enough, I'm never going to make it, what's the point, why did that do well and this didn't? And it's very easy to start overthinking things. In the early days, you want to try and make sure that you're putting all the foundations in place to be successful, and then just have fun with it. Don't overthink it, don't stress, don't constantly focus on the numbers and how much you had yesterday and how much you had today. You want to make sure that you've really take the time to just enjoy streaming. You don't want to go in too hard with it. If you've got responsibilities at home, if you've got a full-time job, a house to look after, kids, wife, whatever it is, you want to make sure that you're communicating with those people so they know what your goals are, what it is that you want to do, and try and gain support, because when you've not got support around you, it is really difficult to stay positive. And you always want to make sure that you prioritize your home responsibilities first, your work, your relationships, your family. It can get quite easy just to get stuck on, oh, this stream's doing really well, I'm going to stay on for another hour, and neglect that, you know, you've got a partner that's just sitting there waiting to spend time with you. At the end of the day, you can always go live again the next day. You can't always spend time with your family and your friends. So always prioritise what's good for your mental health. And on your days off, make sure that you spend time away from the screens completely. It's easy to go on a trip to the park and sit there on your phone and start looking at your tweets and things. Just don't do it. Just try and stay away from all screens and just have a nice refresh, because it helps you get a more of a positive outlook on things. And when you come back to the chair and you're ready to start streaming again, making another video, it's just more of a refreshing feeling. And prioritising your mental health and your responsibility leads me to the next point. Finding your schedule and maintaining consistency. It's really easy to kind of get really excited, just jump in, just go live for hours and hours on end. It's just not the right way to really go about it. When you start streaming, you want to make sure that not doing too much too soon. You really want to plan your streams, make them engaging. Even if it's to 0 people to start with, you can utilise that video, that VOD, as long form offline content. You can upload that to YouTube afterwards. You can get snippets for TikTok or for Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts. Whatever you do, even if you're not having a successful stream, you could still turn that into a successful YouTube video or a successful TikTok video. Try not to stress too much about it. If you go live 8 hours a day, you're not going to be entertaining for all 8 of those hours. The best thing to do, which is a sweet spot that I have personally found, is between 3 and 4 hours is a really good starting point. You don't get too tired. You can enjoy your game, focus on the chat, and it is mentally exhausting doing a live stream for a few hours on end, because you're just constantly, you're reading chat, you're looking at the game, you're making sure your audio's working, your lights are all working properly, your camera's working. There's always so much to be doing. Your mind is hardly ever at rest when you're streaming. So 3 to 4 hours is a really good sweet spot. You're on long enough for people to discover you, and you're not on too long that there's going to be loads of like empty time. This also gives you time to plan some fun challenges, the games that you want to play, or the content that you want to talk about. It just gives a chance for you to also have a smaller portion of footage to upload into a YouTube video or into Reels, TikToks and stuff like that. if you've got an 8-hour stream, it's going to be really difficult for you to edit that down and make an entertaining YouTube video out of it. It will just take so long. It will take so long for you to go through it. With finding your schedule and maintaining the consistency of your schedule, you do want to try and go live at the same time on the same days each week. So if you decide to go live on a Wednesday and a Friday, try to stick with Wednesdays and Fridays. I try to maintain the days that I'm live because it's a familiarity. People know where you're going to be. Try to stay consistent with the days that you go live and the times that you go live roughly. Like I say, it's okay to change it, but just try not to change it too often. Consistency really is key when it comes to trying to grow your channel. The next key point of building success on Twitch is reading the chat. Your stream is reliant on one thing really for growth, and that is the community. And people will spend time watching you, talking to you, joining your games if you want to. No streamer will grow by never reading the chat. I've raided out to people in the past that never read chat, and it's the most disappointing thing. I ended up just unfollowing and leaving. You need to have interaction with your chat. If there's zero interaction with the streamer, you might as well just go watch a YouTube video, in my opinion, because then all the boring bits are kind of cut out. People will just leave if you're not chatting to them, if you're not reading chat. Taking too long to respond to chat is also not a good sign. There are natural delays that you can't help, that's fair enough, but if you're taking 20 minutes to respond to a chat message, that person's going to already be gone. There's no point. So you really want to make sure you keep on top of reading your chat. Have it very visible right next to you, so as soon as you see your chat message bump at the corner of your eye, you can flick over and you know exactly where it is, what's being said. You can respond to it straight away then. Another thing on chat is to make sure you keep toxic behaviour out of the chat. You want to have a nice environment for your community. You want a very welcoming chat. You want to make some rules for your chat and you want to keep to them for everybody, regardless of who they are. Everybody has to go by the same rules. If one person gets banned for saying something, the other person gets banned for saying the same thing. It helps just keep things fair. You will come across trolls. It's just inevitable. GFX artists are probably the worst bots that are going around at the moment because they interact with people as if they're interested in their gameplay. You get excited. You're like, oh, hi, welcome in. And then they're like, oh, can I interest you in this? And the deflation, you just see it on people's faces of, try not to let it get to you. As soon as anyone pops into your chat and says, can I show you my portfolio, GFX this, ban it straight away. Don't even talk to them. Don't even address it, because those accounts follow you. They ruin your stats because they end up getting banned from Twitch. Then your follow disappears and then it's just a pain in the bum. This leads me on to point 8, which is always talk. Obviously, you can't just have a continuous spout of word diarrhea all the time because then it's just constant blah, 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 blah. People will just be like, what on earth is going on? But use your head voice out loud. Talk about what you see, what you think it means, even if you're at 0 viewers, because someone can pop into your chat. You've probably heard this before if you're looking at all the different videos and stuff on how to be successful on Twitch. There is a delay on the view counter. Once someone comes in and you notice it, they've probably already gone. So if you see your view count go up by 1 and then you think, oh, now I'll start talking because I know someone's here, chances are you were silent when they were there and they've just gone. So always be talking about what you're doing, what's happening in the game. My next point is networking. You hear this word so much all over YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, all of the things. Oh, you've got a network. But what does it really mean in terms of growth? It doesn't mean asking for follow, sub for subs, or spamming links under people's tweets. It doesn't mean going into people's streams for the first time and talking about how you're a streamer or you plan to stream. It means make genuine connections with people, make friends, get to know the community across Twitch, go find people playing the games that you're interested in, and just enjoy watching new people. And don't do it with the intention of them coming back to see you, as this will instill a toxic expectation of, I did this for you, so you should do it for me. You're not doing it for me. I'm upset with you. It's a ridiculous thing to have. I've seen so many people get upset because they've been spending all this time in someone's chat and they've never once popped in. But what they've got to realise is, if you're going into somebody else's channel with the expectation of them to support you back, you're the one in the wrong, not the other person. You don't support someone for support back. You support someone because you're interested in their content. If they come back into your stream and they go, oh, hi, lovely to see you, and things like that, that's amazing. That's really good. That's lovely. If they decide to stick around, then that's even better. But that's because you're entertaining, not because you supported them. They need to support you. Do not ever go into Twitch or anything like that with the expectation of I did this for you, so you need to do it for me. Just make friends, have fun, and then when you do start streaming and going live, those people that you've made friends with, there will be a chance that they'll pop in and come say hi at least, or they'll give you a follow ready for when you start going live. So that's what networking really is. It's not just going around trying to connect with people, sub for sub, follow for follow. It's about really making connections with people. My next point would be to make other content. I've mentioned it earlier. Use Twitter not just to share going live tweets, but to reach out to other streamers, game developers, companies, talk about your challenges, your achievements. It really just helps spread your discoverability across all different social medias. If you start building up a following on Twitter, chances are a few of those Twitter people will go over to YouTube or to Twitch. It's always good to be using other sites and making content, which is why I'd say use your VODs to make YouTube videos, to make shorts from those YouTube videos, or just make YouTube videos in general. It doesn't have to be from your live stream. It could be something completely different, but just make sure that you're putting yourself out there as much as possible, because Twitch on its own is not enough anymore, unfortunately. My next point would be to make it really easy to be contacted. Have a business email in your bios of your Twitch, your Twitter, everything. If a game developer or a company wants to give you a sponsorship or some game keys, it's really easy for them to get in contact with you. Just make sure you don't use a personal email address and create one for your brand. But be very cautious of people doing follow for follow, because they will only be there to get you to your goal of reaching affiliate. Once you reach affiliate, you'll drop again, because they've helped you reach their goal. They've done what they need to do. I've seen so many people reach affiliate and then go back to 0 viewers, or reach partner and then drop right back down again, because people focus too much on that being the goal. Turn off your view counter and just have fun. Look at your statistics afterwards. You just want to really try to enjoy streaming and not make it all about reaching this goal, reaching that goal. It's amazing to have goals, but just keep things realistic and make sure that you're having fun while doing it. You'll feel so much more accomplished by reaching those smaller goals first and feeling more positive and energetic, ready to move forward to the next step. If you have a group of people that you play Call of Duty with, that you're good friends with, ask them if they would be happy to just chill out in your stream while you're playing games together and things, because just getting to 6 viewers already makes you into the top 7% of Twitch, which is absolutely mind-boggling to think of, and it's just an ocean of people streaming that you need to try and get above to be able to start getting noticed. So if you can get 3 or 4 friends of yours just to watch your stream and just chat every so often, that's already put you at such an advantage. Now, the biggest thing is what to stream. Are you a speedrunner who's really good at speedrunning one specific game? Are you planning on streaming sculpting with clay, or drawing or painting? Are you variety streaming? It completely depends on what it is that you want to do. Streaming one game in particular tends to offer faster growth as people find familiarity with your stream. They know when you're going to be live, they know what you're going to be playing. People will find it comfortable that you'll be always playing a game that they love. So you tend to build a community faster that way. But through my personal experience, I'd say try to avoid it if possible, because you could end up building up a huge community around one game, let's just say GTA. And then as soon as you think, right, I'm starting to get sick of GTA now, I play it every day, I have done for the past 3 or 4 months, I'm just done with it now, and you go to load up Destiny, you can find your viewership going from 300 to 30, which is a real big kick in the teeth, because you think, I've worked so hard to get that many, now it's dropped right down. It feels like starting fresh again. So even though variety streaming is harder and it does take longer to grow, you find that the community are there for you in particular, not the game. But if you want to build quick and you main Call of Duty, for example, and you've played it every day for the last 4 years and you're happy to play it every day for the next 4 years, go for it, main it. You will build your community faster. But it's not always great on the mental health to feel that you have to load up your stream and you have to play a specific game, otherwise the numbers aren't going to be there. Growing as a variety streamer is quite difficult, as I've mentioned. But the best way to actually find what game to stream, if you're someone who's just open to playing anything, just having fun, there's a website called Twitch Tracker that I'll pull up on the screen now. If you have a look on Twitch Tracker and going into the games, there's a viewer to streamer ratio. You can find out which games have only a couple people streaming it with good viewership, or if there's thousands of people streaming it with bad viewership. It's a really good way to find a game to play that your discoverability will be higher in. You want to try and to aim for a game or category that has between 10, 20 or 30 people streaming it, and at least 2 or 3 of those people having 200, 300, 400 viewers. This way, if that streamer comes offline and people are only watching because of the game's interesting to them, chances are they're going to go back into that category, have a browse and see who's in there. If there's only a couple people to scroll through, you're going to get seen much easier than if you were right at the bottom in a 15-minute scroll at the bottom of Destiny. Unfortunately, you can't always be snowballing your way through success. There are going to be good days and bad days. There are going to be days where you have great ideas and days where you just kind of have a blank and you're just kind of going with the flow, and it's completely fine to be that way. Just try to make the best out of the hours that you are streaming. You could easily create challenges, make your gameplay different. You could do things like, I increase my sensitivity every time I die on Call of Duty, or every time I die on this survival game, I'll eat a hot chili bean. This way you're not just some random person in a list of people just playing a game. You're someone who's doing a fun challenge, that's having a good time, that's just doing something different, and this will make you stand out. The ending of this video is going to be about what I'd suggest not to do. The things I suggest not doing that might end up sabotaging your success. We've mentioned a few things already. Things like allowing toxic behaviour in the chat and things like that. You want to avoid that at all costs. I'd say don't have TTV or Twitch or anything in your game usernames, like on your PlayStation, on your Steam, on your Xbox, because it encourages people to come in and troll you. If you're playing a game with them and you've beaten them, chances are they're going to be a bit angry and salty about it. They're going to come and find your channel and start trolling you. If it's not that often that you get people come in and say, oh, I just had a really good game, let's be friends, it does really encourage stream sniping and quite toxic behaviour. I've seen a lot of people get targeted quite badly because as soon as somebody is playing a game with someone, they've got TTV in their name, they instantly know they're a streamer, so they are just targeted in-game and on Twitch. It's just not a pretty sight. It is completely up to you, because if you want to show that you're a Twitch streamer, that's absolutely fine, fair enough. But my personal suggestion would be to not have TTV in your name. Don't encourage follow for follow behaviour, view for view. It just doesn't work. Don't self-promote in people's channels. That's been touched upon before. Don't go into other people's streams saying that you're live. Don't go into other people's streams saying that you're a streamer. It just leaves bad taste in people's mouths. It's quite disrespectful for the streamer, and the community will find it quite offensive too. And just avoid having IRL people that you know just overpowering the chat. It's nice to have your friends there or family there, but you want to make sure it's a welcoming environment. And I'd also say avoid doing giveaways to try and hook people in, because they'll only stay for the giveaway and they'll leave when they don't win. And chances are, even if they do win, they'll leave and not be interested again anyway. They're just happy they got something for free. Don't put money into doing giveaways and things like that unless you've already got the community there. Doing giveaways is a great way to get clicks, but unfortunately it's not a way to get a community. If you want legit people coming in, just keep it entertaining, just create titles that just sound fun and people will come in. But other than that, I reckon you would be a very successful streamer as long as if you keep in mind a lot of the things that I've spoken about, and if you've watched other people's videos. Doing the research first puts you above a lot of people, because so many people just go live and they don't really care. They're just doing it for the sake of it. So the fact that you're even watching videos and learning about it first just goes to show that you're really thinking above and beyond. So chances are you are going to be successful. Just don't give up. Don't stress over numbers. Keep positive. Everybody started at 0 at some point, and you will manage to do it if you keep your head in the game. I hope you have a really enjoyable streaming journey. If you have any questions at all, you can always come into my channel when I'm live and ask. I will always respond to you guys. You can ask in the comments below. I will be doing other tips and tricks videos, setting up things for your first stream, all sorts of different things. I've got so much planned for this year. I plan to be uploading every week. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it helps you. If it does, leave me a comment, let me know, give me a like, subscribe, all that nonsense. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy one of my previous uploads where I talk about becoming a Twitch partner and if it's really worth the stress of it. So you can click here to find that video, and I shall see you in the next one. Thank you and goodbye.